afternoon, and good evening, my friends all around the country and the world. I'm Esteban, and this is the Esteban Hours Week in Review. Sound off. If you woke up today, then today is a great day. How you doing? How you doing? Well, on today's Caliente, we're talking about the second Republican presidential debate. There was a lot of stuff that went on there and a lot of stuff that didn't because there were some that were missing in action. Candidates, 7 candidates vying for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination met at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation. This foundation and institute is located in Semi Valley, California, and this went on Wednesday night and was their second debate. Now, former President Donald Trump was not present, and it was noticed. In fact, there were a couple of candidates on the stage that were not shy enough to mention that. And there were a couple of sparring back and forth. But before we get into it, let's bring in our panel. Co-host and co-producer of the Week in Review, Jeremy Baker. Host of Vita Talks and radio personality, Ovita. Life and fitness coach and co-contributor to the Week in Review, Justin Rowland. And Ty Trace. And I forget where T is from. I gotta apologize. She's an author. She is an author. Welcome.
We got
T.
people from everywhere.
She's an author. Hi, T.
Tennessee. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
All right. Thank you for joining us today, everybody. So, did everyone see the Republican debate yesterday, or at least hear about it?
Oh yeah.
Bits and pieces and heard about it.
It's hard not to, right? With these folks up there, back and forth and arguing and all of that, which I guess makes great television, depending on who you ask. But okay, so we had 7 candidates, right? There should have been 9. Donald Trump did not make it, but not only did he make it, I don't think he was invited by the Reagan Library folks. So even if he wanted to go, he still wouldn't have been there. And then I believe we had Asa Hutchinson, who did not meet the qualifications to be on stage. So it totaled down to just 7 candidates. Now, that included Governor Ron DeSantis and also former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who was his normal, usually spicy self. But before we go any further, let's roll the first clip.
The Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California.
Joe Biden should not be on the picket line. He should be on the southern border working to close our southern border because it is unsafe, wide open, and insecure.
Look, I do disagree with something Tim Scott just said. Joe Biden doesn't belong on a picket line. He belongs on the unemployment line.
If the government shuts down, should voters blame populist Republicans?
Voters should blame everybody who's in Washington, D.C.
Where's Joe Biden? He's completely missing in action from leadership. And you know who else is missing in action? Donald Trump is missing in action. He should be on this stage tonight.
Ooh.
Does anybody know where Donald Trump was?
Shitting his pants at home.
He does that every day.
Oh.
He was at a non-union auto part manufacturing.
Oh, yeah.
You know how he does. He tries to overdo someone else. So because Biden was on the picket line for union workers, I guess he thought it was best for him to show up at this manufacturing plant, which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Some
okay.
Funny stuff.
But we said DeSantis, Chris Christie, Nikki Haley, former Vice President Mike Pence, Tim Scott, South Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. They were all on stage and they didn't do too bad. But of course, the rhetoric, the gaslighting and lies were manifested as they always was. Jeremy,
yes.
first. What were your thoughts of what you've heard?
What I heard was like a bunch of kids bickering over a toy. The only person on that stage that I think has any balls, and I don't like the guy, but the only person I think that is the only viable candidate for the Republican Party is Chris Christie. Everybody else has no. You know what I mean? The last debate, the only two people that didn't raise their hand when they were asked, "Would you pardon Donald Trump?" was Asa Hutchinson and Chris Christie, and Ron DeSantis only raised his hand after he looked over and saw everybody else raise their hand. So
Yeah.
none of those people, you know what I mean? We're not going to pardon the guy who's allegedly committed the worst crime in American history. I'm sorry, I have no respect for any candidate willing to do anything like that. So I think Chris Christie's like the only one. And Vivek got hammered in this one. Vivek got crushed in this one.
He I'll leave my comments to myself. Justin, you're up.
Oh man. You know, I really do not have a whole lot to say on this. You know, it is comical to me how they just come together and basically act like children, just like Jeremy was saying, just to get the votes. So you really don't know who you're dealing with, to be honest with you, when they're on television. So that's pretty much, you know, that's really all I'll say is you really do not know who you're dealing with when a camera is pointed at someone.
Right. And you don't necessarily know if you should believe what they're saying, because a lot of what they're saying is for kudos, is for applause, is for followers, so to speak.
Absolutely.
And as Jeremy mentioned, Vivek, well, they were on him. I have to say they were really on him last night. DeSantis and Haley. They were really on him. Now, when it comes to former Governor Haley, what are your thoughts? Let's go with Ovita.
Does she hear us?
Can you hear us? No, she's okay. No, she's mute. Okay, take that one, T.
Huh?
You take that one. When it comes to Governor Haley, how do you feel about her, or what do you know about her?
I honestly don't know a lot about her. I'm like with Jeremy and Mr. Justin, like Chris Christie is the only one that I can't say that I support, but he's the only one that makes a little bit of sense to me.
So you're familiar with Chris Christie?
It's more like it's comical to me. Do what you got to do, say what you got to say. Cameras are rolling, act a certain way. My thing is, what's going on behind closed doors?
Yeah,
point blank. Like, let me see the real deal. Let me know exactly what's going on, and all the bickering back and forth, the name calling, pointing out this and that. Like, I'm not with all of that. You know, we're living in some really crazy times, and to think these are our candidates to run the United States of America,
right?
Nah, I need more than what's being presented.
Absolutely. And to be fair, the same rules apply for Democrats as well as Republicans.
Correct.
Because there are, this happens at times at Democratic debates as well.
Yes.
Where they're just trying to go for points, but the people want to hear, their reasonings. They want to hear, what do you have to offer for me? What will you do that's going to make my life and the lives of my family members better? So that goes on for both sides.
For both parties.
In this sense, since President Biden is the incumbent president, they are hosting the Republican debates, and each one of them has their own highlights, so to speak. Now, I did watch the debate. In a sense, as a sort of journalist, you have to. I was bored. I found it boring. I thought the first one was much better. This one, they played it safe, which I understand. I understand. They played it safe. They were attacking Vivek more. I don't know. Can I say publicly? I just don't like him. I just can I
Nobody
say that?
does.
I don't find him genuine.
No, God, no.
Mm-mm.
He is so phony. He is the most phony person on that whole panel. And the guy has no credentials whatsoever. He's like, his history is he did a pump and dump thing on a cancer drug that failed in trials. And he made a bunch of money by, promoting that. And just the guy has no political skills. He has no leadership skills. He's just like, he'll literally say anything. He'll contradict himself. And then when they actually play the video of him saying it, they're like, no, that's out of context. Or no, that's
Right,
not what that meant. He does it all the time. The guy will flip flop on anything just to get points.
right. Now, did you guys hear in this first clip that we played when Mike Pence came up and he was saying that President Biden needs to be unemployed? Here's what I tweeted at that very moment. Mike Pence just said President Biden doesn't belong on a picket line. He belongs on the unemployment line. Jealousy looks horrible on him. But after that New York verdict, isn't that where Trump is headed?
Yeah. Wow.
Right
Wow.
to the unemployment line.
I can't wait to talk about that one. He had a bad
Right?
week. He had a bad week. Wow.
Okay. Vita, we still can't hear you. You're still muted. And Jeremy, play the next clip. There you go. No.
There we go. Don't touch anything. I want to play the next clip and then it's your turn.
For right now, I'll tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight, not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
So the talk on Twitter today was that the name for Chris Christie is Porky Pig.
Oh, man.
And for Donald Trump, it's Donald Duck.
Donald Duck. I'll take it.
So everybody was like, so is this how politics goes now? Is this what our country has gotten to, where everyone is giving each other a name? And we're like, well, with the Republicans in the majority, yes. Because the Republicans are really the main ones that do the name calling. Am I correct?
Yeah, you are.
How many Democrats do you know of that call other people names?
Fetterman.
Yes. Okay.
Matt Gaetz a jagoff, so
Yes.
Yes. Man, represent Pennsylvania. That's right.
That's true. That's true. So, another highlight that I wanted to mention from last night that was also some chatter on Twitter. Some people seem to have a problem with the judges. One of them was the Varney guy. I forget his first name or his last name. He's from the Fox Business Network, but he's English, and so he's got an English accent. And so they were like, "Oh, so we now have immigrant judges for the presidential Democrat."
Really?
But hold on. Noticias, they teamed up with the Fox Business Network. Noticias, okay, that's a Spanish news network, and so they had one of their big time anchors on as well. And she did well, but she as well had a strong accent. So everyone was going crazy. What's going on?
It's hard to say.
I thought it was hilarious, but I mean, who cares? That's what I say. Like, who cares?
What do you think, Avita? Look, see if we can catch her.
Guys, my dad, so sometimes, they want your attention a little bit. So, I just think it all sounds like we're in such an entertainment. We love being entertained. Reality TV, it's like they plan towards that instead of in blaming. I hate blaming. Okay, what's the solution? We hear all the problems. I hear really no real solid solutions to our problems and our issues. What are you really going to do about everything that's going on? It's like a popularity contest, and we're really not paying attention. We just like to be entertained, and this is why our country is where it is. We picking people because they're popular. They might look good for the White House or whatever. They might just look good, but we're not really looking at people and really paying attention to who we're picking to put in this office. And we really don't know, like, what we're gonna get. I hear you. I want to see you doing, but it's like it's comical. It looked like a reality show. It looked like they just trying to be entertaining instead of really. And people need to complain about that. You wasting our time and our dollars just up here throwing shade at people. What are you going to do? What's the solutions, really? And what are their patterns? What has they been doing before now? Are they improving? Or we need to get some new people up here gonna take care of the business and set us up like we need to be. We need to take it more serious, but people love.
Right. Okay. Yep. So before we go any further, let's play this last clip that we have.
Okay.
Said,
man,
slaves developed skills in spite of slavery, not because of it. But many are still hurt. For descendants of slaves, this is personal. What is your message to them?
So first of all, that's a hoax that was perpetrated by Kamala Harris. We are not going to be doing that. Second of all, that was written by descendants of slaves. These are great Black history scholars, so we need to stop playing these games.
There is not a redeeming quality in slavery. He and Kamala should have just taken the one sentence out.
I have a radical idea for the Republican Party. We need to win elections. And part of how we win elections is reaching the next generation of young Americans where they are. So when I get into office, I've been very clear. Kids under the age of 16 should not be using addictive social media.
No.
I just lost
part of how you win elections is to stop lying, stop conspiring, and to leave Trump the hell alone. That's part of how you'll win elections. But I wanted to touch a little bit on what they said in the beginning. They called DeSantis said that it was a hoax by Kamala Harris. Is that true?
No, it's bullshit. He's full of shit. He's full of shit.
Because he pushed it off on somebody else anyway. He didn't know how to respond to that question.
Right. That was my next question. He didn't even answer
it.
Yeah.
Yes. And Kamala Harris did an appearance in response to what he said. Isn't that true?
Yeah, we did a video on it. I had never seen Kamala Harris so angry and fired up about something before.
Yes.
Until that came out. So what he's saying is bullshit. He started this whole thing. Yes. And she responded to it. And she responded appropriately. And she responded gracefully, I might add. She didn't call him any names.
Yes.
People don't give Kamala Harris enough credit, okay? The woman works hard behind the scenes, okay? She's ready to take over if Joe croaks or something happens to Joe. That's what she's there for. You know what I mean? He's teaching her what to do. So people need to just lay off of her.
When I first heard him say that, I said to myself that I think because both him and Tim Scott both mentioned her name, I kind of felt it was done deliberately because they're just continuously trying to downgrade her or trying to find a problem with her. And she had nothing to do with that slavery thing. It was all DeSantis, but she was mad as hell and decided as the first Black female American vice president, she was going to come out and stand up and against what he said. And that's exactly what she did. He said something like slaves developed skills in spite of slavery, not because of it, not because of it, which is ridiculous.
It's an awful thing to say. Why would you say something like that?
Yeah. Justin?
Man, it's sad. And I guess it's probably been like this for a while, but politicians are about as equal as, let's say, a car salesman.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Like they're very similar, because they're going to tell you whatever you want to hear to make that sale. And basically it's the same concept. Like, listen, we're going to have someone write this script for us. Who knows? It could be Chat GPT. You don't know, but we're going to have a script. We're going to step on stage and try to get as many applause and claps and, that we can, and tell you that we're going to do such and such because based off of stats, this is what they want to hear. And then, once they're elected, it's almost like they lay back, kick their feet up, and just enjoy the ride. And, and you've got people that are putting faith and hope into these people to make change. And, I wish there was a gauge to where you could see what percentage of effort is really being put into their job.
Right.
Versus,
yeah.
And there's just no, like if we had a dashboard to see, like, this is how effective this president has been up until this point. But I don't think we have a dashboard for that to gauge effort.
Absolutely. And isn't that what Trump is doing right now? He's just trying to gain as many followers as he can, and he's telling everybody what he's going to do once he gets into office. Which is a lot of balls, because you're telling everybody that you're going to cut this and cut that, and you're going to turn the country into a dictatorship. It's so ballsy, and then turn around and talk about why don't they like me?
Right. I want to add to Justin real quick, like the used car, because I used to be a car salesman most of my life. I was in the car business, and like there's two different kinds of car salesmen. Okay, you got the dirty old 1987 used car salesman that'll, rip you off in a heartbeat. And then you got the guy that works at the Mercedes dealership or treats you properly. So it's like the Republicans are the dirty old car salesmen. Right. And then you got the Democrats are still car salesmen, but they'll at least take care of you. And service
quality sells itself.
Yes.
Quality sells itself.
Yes, it does. Great comment. Great statement. Quality sells itself. It actually does. And I don't know if we can see any quality on that stage, but I digress. I appreciate you all. Thank you for your opinions and for coming in on today's Sound Off on the second Republican presidential debate. And I look forward to seeing you at the next Sound Off.
All right.
Okay. Here's my rant. I don't really have one. They had the debate. They did the best that they can. Those that agreed with them and like who they like and will vote for who they vote for, they will continue to do that. And those that don't, they will continue to do that. And everyone else will continue to sit on the sidelines. So until the next, the third presidential debate, let's see if Trump shows up to that one, right? If he's invited. Okay. Please like and follow at the Esteban Hour on all social media platforms, and please share the live. It's always greatly appreciated. If you have a goal that you have accomplished today or achieved, don't forget to say to yourself, this is how we do it.